Smoke, smoke.
Smoke, yes, sir. Once indeed, we are back with the Sunday's Best Podcast. This is a special edition. Where's a little change of pace that we usually like to do in the studio? You know, right now we are at the release party for Propane, the newest track by TSF Brzy, and he has joined me today. It's actually not the first time. He's been a friend of the podcast. You know, you were here way back. I remember you came like 30 minutes into the interview with your ting and everything.
Shit. I don't need no fucking stylist. Shorty pussy deep.
Different vibe we were on, you know? All right, I had to start like that, eh? But like,
you gotta put me on the spot.
Yeah, no. It's just like, I think it's good. Like whenever I start with somebody like you, that like, you know, we have more of a relationship than just like doing this kind of stuff. You know, like we actually like we're both like from Oakville and stuff. Like we kind of came from, you know, the same sort of place together. So you know, it's kind of cool to see everything that you're doing right now. Yeah. You know,
appreciate it, bro.
No worries.
I'm trying to do my thing, you know. Like,
what is that? What is that? Doing your thing? What would you describe that being then?
Honestly, like for me, doing my thing has always just been like, if I see something, like if I see someone doing something and I'm like, I know I can do that too. Okay. Like, it's just honestly just getting out there and getting anything you want. You know what I mean? Like I feel like in this life, you're given the opportunity to do like anything and everything you want. Like,
okay. So just in case there's anybody that's not really familiar with like just TSF Brzy, like who you are and like your brand and everything, you started more like as a club promoter, right? Like, and that was like your main flex.
Yeah,
right?
like I wouldn't say it was my main flex. Like
okay.
I was at a point like almost like where I was like, I was in school, like I didn't really know what I was doing in school. Like I was kind of there just to please like my parents, and then like it was coming out of my own pocket, so it got like it wasn't. It didn't make sense to me anymore. You know what I mean?
It wasn't feasible. Needed a new grind.
So I was just like, nothing in school is interesting me. So at the time I was promoting.
What were you taking in school?
Business technology management. So like IT stuff. Like.
Okay, and that just wasn't the flex. Then.
No, that wasn't my flex.
Okay.
So, whatever. Like, as I was taking a break from school, I'm like, I could make some serious bread in promoting. I could like make it more of a flex.
Okay.
And at the time, I was working at Club Monaco part-time.
Yeah, Queen.
But then, when you last spoke to me, I was working for somebody else. And I realized I could be doing all this shit, making my own money, building up my own brand with like my friends and stuff. So
that's kind of what it's become, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's what TSF is. It's kind of like that brand of like entertainment, lifestyle, and like promoting clubs and like, you know, people like, enjoying themselves, right? Or do you want to expand on what exactly does TSF mean?
I made TSF. Like, we all made it while I was promoting for somebody else. Yeah. And then it just happened that when I left who I was working for, I was like, what do I represent myself as? And everyone already knew, like, we had a collective, TSF. And I'm like, okay, why not try to make this the platform to push TSF on?
Okay.
So,
it's funny. I feel like more people know you by TSF Brzy than they do like your Govey. And don't worry, I won't expose. Don't worry, I got you. Don't worry. So at one point then, because that's kind of like a cool sort of transition, right? And you are like an eclectic person, you know? Like most people, like if anybody that's ever seen me with you or something and like comes and talks to me after, it's like, yo, who is like that guy? Like what does he do? Like he looks like a rapper. Like and I remember like all those times you weren't really rapping, but then like, you know, secretly I knew you were working on a thing and stuff. So how does that transition kind of happen from, you know, sort of working for other people, realizing school isn't really where you want to be, and then clubbing and promoting, realizing you can make that your own shit, you know, and then here we are at the release party for your track, you know? How does that process sort of work for you?
So honestly, the way it worked out is like, just like you said, like I'd always be out and about. People would always see me like, oh, yo, you look sick. Like, cause I'm always like doing shit with my hair.
Always dripped,
I'm always like trying to be fresh. Like that's just always like been me, right? Like, and like I listen to a lot of music. I love music a lot. Like in high school, I'd fuck around and like freestyle and shit. Okay. But then, it just like everywhere I went, like people would be like, "Oh, like what do you do? Are you a rapper?" Or like you see me in the club, I'm on the table. There's like always a million phones. There's a bunch of girls around us. And then for the people that like come in the club for the first time, they're wondering like, "Yo, what's this guy do? Like, is this guy a rapper? Like, why does he have all this shit?" And like, everyone's like, yo, like, you should seriously become a rapper, like, da-da-da-da. Like, have you ever thought about it? And, like, it honestly took the right person, and I'm going to shout him out. Yo, my boy, Hodo Black.
Hodo Black, shout out.
He's, like, an older brother to me. He's, like, he saw it in me. He's like, yo, why don't you start making music? And I'm like, yo, I thought about it before, but like it just took the right person to be like, yo, I see something in you.
Is he like a producer? Is he like in what proximity does he work with you?
I would say he's like a jack of all trades. Like he does it all. Like he's a very low key guy, so I'm not gonna air shit out over here. So.
Okay. Shout out to him though.
Yeah.
So then with Propane, you know, like that's kind of like your first track that like everybody's kind of seeing face. I remember I see you at the gym sometimes. You'd be like, yo, come listen to this, like what I'm working on and stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you plan to like kind of take it? Is there gonna be sort of like a full LP or like an album or something that's gonna come with it?
So
what's next?
Right now, we're sitting on like 50 tracks.
Oh shit.
So I'm just like, I'm not gonna give you the whole formula. I'm not gonna give you like too much.
Okay.
I'm gonna do something like. We're gonna do something, and then like the next coming months, like expect something, like you know what I mean?
Something?
Like
okay.
Like this isn't it.
So you won't even confirm really if it's like a solid piece of work. Like you kind of got like an idea like with it.
We have it all mapped out. Like that's why like nobody even knew I was doing this. Like
I was like a lot of people by surprise.
You know what I mean? Like I just see like, dudes like dropping shit all the time, and like it doesn't mean anything, right? So I'm like, yo, if I'm doing this, like. I gotta do it fucking like it has to be like quality shit. Like that's why my video was sick.
Yeah.
The way I even like I didn't say a word. Like I just kinda like was like, yo.
Yeah, expedited the whole thing.
I'm like, yo, I posted a snippet and I'm like, it's either gonna fuck with it or you're not.
I don't know. You got a lot of love real quick on it, I remember.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Shamba Ranks. That's like
he's supposed to be here, but
he'll be here eventually, right? I'll catch him.
Probably messaging me on my phone. Oh, yo, he is. I'm just parking. He's parking right now.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. We'll probably catch up with Shamba. He's a friend from time, you know, and like a man that's been seriously putting in work. Especially for like us Oakville bands, you know, like we really, that's not really a flex, you know, and not really something that people will brag about or be like, or rep, you know, so it's like, for me, it's really dope to like see, okay, niggas putting in work from Oakville, you know, like we kind of putting our
gotta rep the suburbs.
Yo, that's gonna be a thing. You're saying you and Shamba are gonna make that the thing to put on the map. You're gonna be like, you have people from Brampton be like, you know, like trying to
honestly,
own that shit.
Like, I'm just a man of the GTA. Like I've lived like everywhere. Like I've lived in Toronto, I've lived in Brampton, I've lived in Saga, and then I've lived in Oakville, and then I moved back to Toronto. But my dad's always lived in Toronto my whole life, so like, I'm not like I wouldn't classify myself as an Oakville guy. Like Oakville's a huge part of me. Don't get me wrong. I'll still rap Oakville.
Okay.
Cause
not a lot of people will.
You know, but yeah, like
that's lit. You know what? On the topic though of like GTA in Toronto, you know, there's like there's a huge melting pot of artists that are here, right? There's a lot of Toronto artists, there's a lot of people, and like. I kind of feel like on the promoting side, you may have worked with a lot of these people in proximity, right? Like a lot of the Tory Laneses or the Killies, like those kinds of people.
Right.
People kind of have this connotation about Toronto, though, that like, you know, people don't really fuck with each other, that it's like you kind of got to be popping in the United States, you know, to kind of get a buzz or for people to show you love here.
Yeah.
You know, the way that you came up was kind of interesting as you had like a lot of a following and you had people that were like, yo, you should rap, and then you did it. Do you kind of find that sense in Toronto where there's like, you know, people that don't really want to fuck with each other as much or they're kind of hating or wait until somebody's on? Do you ever find that sentiment?
Honestly, like for me, like I don't even like, I'm the type of person, like if I genuinely fuck with you and I fuck with what you're doing, I'll post your new shit. Like I'll be like, yo, this shit's heat. Like I'll give you your props, I'll give you your flowers or whatever. But it's funny to see like, so I fuck with everybody. Like don't get it twisted. Like if I actually like, people will know if I fuck with them or not. And like I'm not the type of person like if your shit's trash, like not saying anyone's shit's trash, but like if I genuinely don't like your shit, like I won't put it up in my post or nothing. Like you know what I mean? But like when it was my turn to do it, like you said I got a lot of love. I did get a lot of love, but I also noticed like I also noticed that like I guess now that certain people see now as an artist, like I showed them love and like I didn't get nothing back, which I didn't expect to get it back. But it's just funny to see like how the tables have turned, because like I don't think it's because they don't fuck with it, but I just feel like it's people are just scared. Like they don't want you to do better than them, or like they don't want you to like say like you. Like they don't want your shit to be better than them.
They want to see you do good, but never better than them.
They like it's like a competition whereas like.
So that's what they're seeing you as, right?
Yeah, like that's how I feel. But
you feel those people that you were kind of generous to and like showed love to, or kind of
no, like not. I'm not gonna say everyone. Like there's like a few that stood out to me that I'm like, oh okay. Like I didn't take it too much to heart because like I kind of like know the game. It's like it's a competitive thing, right? Like and I understand that, but it's just like maybe we could like work together and like we could all like get out of our situation quicker and like get to where we all want to be quicker and faster as possible. You know what I mean? Like,
why do you think Toronto's not like that though? Like you're saying how?
Because I know I know a lot of dope people. Like I feel like it used to be like that a lot, but I know like a lot of dope people that are doing like creative shit. They're in the music scene, whatever, and like they're all helping each other, like to get to where they need to be. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like it's more established artists that are willing to like help an up and coming guy.
Interesting.
More established artists that are like in the scene already, like they have a name for themselves, kind of, and they're like, okay, like let me help my young boy. But like people coming up together, they're more reluctant. You know what I mean? And like there are the rare few that actually want to like be like, yo, let's fucking work together. Like let's do this. Let's support my shit. Like and I can like they know who they are. Like they know who they are.
Yeah. It's funny how these artists start out with these huge egos, you know, and then it's like the ones that are on the higher platform that you kind of strive to work with or trying to be on that same level. Are you're saying are the ones that are more like easier to approach or say like they're more
like I feel like they don't like they know like they're like they don't have anything to lose. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And then you find the genuine people that actually like they know you're coming up and they're coming up too. So they want to work with you, like they genuinely fuck with what you're doing, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like yo, like for me, like I don't think there's like a Toronto stigma thing, like like maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just too new into it, but like I just feel like it's just different. Everyone's different, you know what I mean?
Maybe
like,
you're too poppin' M Brzy, maybe you're too poppin' TSF.
Nah, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like this is like, I hope it does what it's gonna do, like the single.
Yeah.
And like. This is just the beginning. Like
I think it'll do what it should do because it's a dope track. You know, people I like. You know, I didn't realize. I feel like I've been out with you a few times and heard it in the club. I didn't realize like that was your joint. You know.
So that's like another thing. Like I would just like kind of like experimenting. Cause like I'm like yo, if I'm putting out any tracks, I kind of want to see how like the crowd reacts to something they never heard or like so. I would drop it.
You're lucky, to be able to see that.
I'm so blessed.
Crowd reaction, see how things work in the club,
people would hear it, act like they knew it, or like people would be vibing to it, and like I remember I bumped it in a car for somebody, and then I bumped a bunch of like other songs after, and then I'm like, oh, you know, I bumped my track. They couldn't tell, so I was like, okay, that's a good sign. Like it doesn't sound like
it like, sounds how it's supposed to sound. Like they don't. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Do you find, though, that, like, influences how you make music or approach music? Because you're in the club so often and you see the club reactions. You see how, like, you know, because some songs, some genres and artists, they're not really geared towards the club. Yeah. So, like, do you find that really has a heavy influence on, like, what you like or how you approach music?
Yeah. Like, most definitely. And, like, I'm a guy. I listen to music a lot, so.
Okay. But you said you have 50 tracks, right? Are all those kind of club oriented, or is it a mixed bag? Are we gonna get
a lot of them are, but then there's a lot that are like a different vibe. Like,
okay.
I like my most recent one I made like for the first time I made like a chill track. Okay. And I'm like yo, I like this vibe. Like yo, this is sick. You know what I mean? Like
I'm looking forward to hearing that because I think there's a lot of versatility and a lot of things that like you could tap into for that. So I'm excited to hear that. Okay, so lots to look out for in the next month or so, you're saying?
Yeah, like in the next coming months. Okay.
Lots of big things that have been happening, I feel like sort of in the culture. Just to, you know, I kind of like in the podcast, I like to do like a profile on like the guys I'm talking to because I really fuck with everything you're doing, you know. But like, I kind of like to touch on the culture and stuff going on now too. You really felt like you were gonna compete with Kanye today. Eh? You were gonna drop head to head with him, eh? And drop on the same day as him. I rate it. I high-key rate it.
Yo, I didn't even know he was dropping today.
I don't think anybody did.
I did not know this guy was dropping today.
I don't think anybody believed him. Did you? I feel like that's interesting how that whole rollout happened. Like, a good like 2.5 months late and stuff.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna take it in, to be honest with you. Like,
hey man, it's like I don't know what time it is. It's like late on a Friday right now. The day it came out, and I still haven't listened to it too. So like, I don't know. Kanye's like a guy that like I really appreciate and like.
No, Kanye's a crazy influence. Like for my style, everything. Like, I just feel like Kanye like just needs to be a mogul, a voice.
Yeah.
He doesn't like. I like what he's doing with like the whole Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday service.
Fucking Sunday service shit. That's cool because like shows how like innovative as a person he is. Like to just think about going in a random park and like. Doing like a little like, you know, like it's cool. Like he's always done like cool, quirky shit like that. That's always got him like relevant. Always has him buzzing. Like and like people are gonna hate me for this, but yo, in a way he is a genius. Like it takes a genius to just like be like, yo, let me set up in a park.
Absolutely.
And let me do a church service with my influence and with my songs. Like
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Like, it's just something different. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
Like but like. He should stay in that bag. Like,
yeah.
And like maybe even make it a tour or whatever and make money off it. Like, cool, whatever. But like,
stay away from politics.
Stay away from politics. Maybe hop on a feature or two every now and again. And like, you know, like he's good. Like we don't need any more of these albums.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you know, like I feel like he's done and made his mark and done what he needed to do.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like there's kind of like he should kind of be a veteran, you know, and be okay with coming off the bench and sort of know his place, like, you know, in the whole culture thing. But like, you know, still always looking for those crazy projects and tours that he's dropping. Hopefully that comes from this album, you know. I don't know. I got a few more things to ask you just before we jump out of here because I think the DJ's turning up. I see more and more people coming in and stuff like that. You know, it's also just a representation of just like the type of person you are. You know, you got a release party for one track and you're able to generate this type of an event. You know.
Well, it's not even really for the track. It's just to view the music video.
Oh, so like we're gonna watch the music video.
Yeah.
Tonight.
So it's gonna be projected on that wall. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking.
I wouldn't do a release party for one track, but I feel like it makes more of a purpose for people to try to come see the video, get to know me on my musical side, like get to know what it's all about. You know what I mean? Like,
did you vote?
Unfortunately, I didn't.
It's okay.
I like honestly, I didn't know who to vote for.
I feel you on that. I think there was a lot of people that were caught up with it. I didn't even have my voter card in time, so like, you know, you're not alone on that one. I feel you. What else relevant in the culture? I don't know. It's been kind of a slow news week. Just a lot of music being released. A lot of Kanye drama. You know, I think it's like dope. You know, because I do reach out to a lot of people and try and get you know interviews from them, do pieces with them and stuff like that. And you're somebody, whether I'm looking for a bottle, a booth, an interview, a fun time, anything like that, you're always somebody that hits me back really quick. You're always somebody that's like, you know, mad efficient and everything. So like, I really hope like everything that you're starting to do, like, you know, advances forward and stuff. And I think it will, because it's just a reflection of you and the type of person you are, you know? So I want to say thank you, you know, like for allowing me to come here, do this with you. And you
always,
know,
bro. Yo, you know what it is, bro.
Of course, got to stick together. TSF Brzy. And one time, are you going to let us know what TSF stands for?
Nah, it's a secret.
It's a secret? Are we going to find out ever?
Maybe one day, who knows?
Maybe one day, maybe there'll be a track?
Maybe one day. Okay. When the time's right, you'll know, All
right.
People will know when the time's right.
People will know. This has been the Sunday's Best podcast. TSF Brzy, Clyde Smith, DJ's kicking us out of here, turning it up a little bit. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna do like a whole. You'll see exactly what I'm seeing right now, and have to keep my composure through, you know, and everything. You'll see. Don't worry. Sunday's Best podcast. You're.